Hello, good evening. This is 11 o'clock p.m., October 14, I guess. Let me just confirm the date. Yep, October 14. So this is evening. Sorry about the hangers. I'm in my room. I'm supposed to be sleeping by now, but this is just on my mind to say. So this is my bare face. I'm not in the spicy look, but I just wanted to quickly say this. Um, we all need to be careful as human beings because the switch from a victim to an oppressor, the tendency to become an oppressor after being a victim is very high. And I need you to digest that because I don't see things from a standpoint of uh just one way. I see it societally, if that makes any sense. And I'll break it down. For instance, um, let's say a man, grows up in a household where there is no male figure that is matured and wise enough to train him to become a man of character. And then that boy grows up without a male figure in a single mom household, and the man ends up being promiscuous, violating women, raping women, you know, just doing all sorts of things. And instead of at some point he should stop, you know, that thing, that hole in his heart becomes bigger and it becomes bigger and it becomes bigger. And before you know it is a full fledged, you know, crime lord, and I know I'm saying this in a very like it's not really understandable and clear, but I just need people to be very careful, especially women, because I just give an example of a man, especially women. As a woman, you are violated. And this is the part that women won't admit. You were violated, and then you become promiscuous, and then you start even using men for your own advantage. And so there's always a flip switch from being a victim at first and then becoming an oppressor. And then you pick and choose when you should be a victim and when you should be an oppressor. There's a there's a level you can get to that if you're not careful, you can become a full-fledged monster, even if you have a pretty face and even if you are as perfect as can be. Recently I was just watching a what's it called, a YouTube video about a girl similar to me. Her name is Lily. She grew up in foster care, and just her birth mother, that's her real biological mother, sold her off, you know, to become adopted. And then, she was living in people's houses. And according to her, they were nice people the parents who adopted her or the couple who adopted her were nice, but it just felt like she did not really fit in. And then she became like promiscuous, being pimped out, and then it just evolved from there into like a dark trail. And I don't know how to say this to make it very clear. As much as you are a victim of circumstances of life, even if it's not childhood trauma, even if it's not sexual abuse, it can be as simple as poverty. It's not even simple. Get my point. It can be poverty. It can be, what's it called? It can be homelessness. It can be domestic violence. It can be something. Pray that your heart does not become, does not evolve. It is not grieved to the point where you become an oppressor. Because a lot of times when I'm watching the stories of Didi, I'm just like, what happened to this boy when he was a child? And what happened to him for him to normalize evil behavior in his mind? And I get that people would say, it's just the devil and a lot of things, but it's like people don't realize that from a victim you can hurt people. And I'm not giving excuses for him, but you can hurt people from being a victim. Like you can really wound a lot of people and ruin your life and ruin a lot of people's lives. And then you look back when you want to start healing, and then you look at your track record and you realize that at the expense of what happened to me, this is the record I left behind. So people need to be careful. People really need to be careful, especially if you've been a victim of whatever it is. Because I've seen circumstances where, girls can become a victim, and then the anger breeds, the anger grows, and the anger evolves into a masculine line like woman that is out for vengeance. And it, the same thing with a woman, with a man. You know, you are in a displaced household, and the hurt grows, and you surround yourself with like-minded, wounded people, and then you become a hardened man, and then you go along with that, ruining so many lives. If you are a victim, let me just finish this because it's 7 minutes long. If you are a victim, no matter how grieved your heart is, seek healing. Seek healing. And I don't mean healing as in, healing just to say, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm done with that life. No, healing that affects your view. That kind of healing. Healing that changes your heart. That kind of healing. Healing that, the kind of healing that makes you want to be part of other people's healing journey. That kind of healing. And you all know that healing can only come from somewhere. The great counselor. That's it. The great counselor. And that's God. That is completely God. That's just what I wanted to say.